have you ever seen resin art like this? Even with low light. This piece is insane.
Right, we are back. I've got something I've wanted to try for quite some time inside this box. Now, Fran at Little Windows, I don't know whether you've seen her channel on here or her website. She has done some recent videos with this stuff. And I mean, you've probably seen the thumbnail. The pieces that she's made are absolutely incredible. So I am now affiliated with Little Windows. And what we have in here are some Dicro-ISH Films. She sent me a couple of packs of the jumbo pack. And she's also sent me, I don't even know what's inside this. She said she was sending some bits. So these are coloured films, normal coloured films. We're not going to be using those today. But we are going to be having a play around with the Dicro-ISH Films. Just to see what we get. Now you probably saw a video a while ago where I did this with florist paper. Now I did try fusing the florist paper together like Fran does in her video. What I'll do, I'll pop her video. It's a really long and very informative video that she posted. Where was I? I've lost where I was. Good start, Daniel. It's come back. So I did try fusing the florist paper together, but it just did not work for me. They weren't fusing. Now this stuff does fuse together. And there are some textured films in here also. So what I'm going to try today is just have a little play around following Fran's video and just see what I can get. She's also sent me some molds, so I might try those as well. And I'm just going to try and layer them, see all those different colours. And there is a whopping 15% discount code in the description box below. It's just Daniel15, all in capitals, if you want to give this a try. So this is one of the set of molds. It's really interesting because it looks like they've got multiple uses to them. And it comes with this stencil, which is really handy to cut the film to size for the mold. And a sheet of sandpaper. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 different size molds in here. You know me, I like to do things small. I think we're going to play around with this one here. So you can use that section, that inner section there, as the heart mold, like for jewellery. But then you've got this area on the back, which is also shiny, that you could make like a pot or just the ring if you didn't fill it up all the way. And that is the same for each of these molds. It's got multiple uses. Handy. And Fran has also sent me cabochon molds. You know how much I like cabochon molds. It's what we do on this channel mainly. We've got some different sized rounds, some little diddy ones, and some whopping big ones there as well. So I think we're going to use some of these. This one here. And I have to say, I've not worked with a company that has kind of the molds come with like a really big leaflet with like ideas, what it's great for, things you'll need, how to use it, all of the sizes and the volumes of the mold, and even the other side, the back side, is also fully printed with all the info you could want. It's really, really unique. I've just spotted that. I have to try this. I've seen people do this, but I haven't seen the proper hardware. But I wonder if Fran has the hardware that fits these domes. That could be a separate video. I want to do this. But before I start with the films, my silicone mat needs a clean, and that is really important with the films because anything that's on here could stick to the film and then end up in your resin bits of fluff. So just make sure it's spotless and flat. Now that is clean, I've got a beast of a heat gun. I haven't got one of those small handheld ones that Fran uses. I've only got this. I'm going to use it on the lower number 1 setting, but if you have got one of the smaller ones, I'd suggest probably using that. Okay, let's get some colours out. Again, I want to, because I've never tried layering the films, so I'm going to layer. It's like a pink colour. I'm going to layer the colours and see what we get. Now, Fran does recommend that you leave an area at the top and at the bottom so that you know, if you go back to that film at a later date, you know which ones that you've stuck together. Because if you put them together like that, it can be tricky to tell which colours you have bonded. I'm hoping this silicone mat will hold up. I wanted to do it on the white one and not my soldering mat underneath, just so you could see the colours. So what I'm going to do, because this part is going to be noisy, I'm going to go into voiceover. Stick with me, guys. These pieces are absolutely incredible. So I'm just holding my heat gun about 6 inches away, and I'm using the cardboard sheet that come with the films just to press it down as I'm heating it to try and keep the films as flat as possible and less air bubbles. So there you have it. Really interesting colours. And they change, the colour will change depending on the background as well. If you've got a white background or a black, it really will vary and change everything about the sheets. So here we're going with a yellow, an orange and a purple combo. Now it is important not to heat the areas too much, and when you're doing 3 you need to heat from one side and then flip it over once you've done that, and also heat from the back side just to make sure that backing film is also bonded to the middle ones. Now that one is absolutely insane. I mean, look at that. And again, with different colour backgrounds. I can't wait to get these into resin. So these textured ones you can't layer these ones. Fran recommends that you cut these and layer them or sandwich them between already heated sheets. So just bear that in mind, you can't do that with these. So I've sped these up as well because you don't want to sit there and watch me do like loads of these, but this is just 2 tones of purple, again pushing that as I'm heating it as I go. And the last one I just go in again with a triple combo. It's like a yellowy green, a purple and an orange, and I think this is the sheet that created the picture at the beginning of the video, but it's really hard to tell. I think that combo is definitely my favourite so far. The colours are insane. You flip it over and they're different. You've got to see that green coming through as well. So just play around with them. I mean, I don't want to do any more because I've done a few now, but yeah, how crazy is that? So now I have 4 sheets, 4 combinations that I can just play around with. One thing to bear in mind as well is that there could be, well, there's going to be trapped air in pockets in some, so just bear that in mind as well. If you're using an epoxy, that they can pop up and float, but I'm going to be doing this with UV resin. Fran did hers with epoxy, so again, check out that video. Very similar process. So we can now use our stencil, which fits the mold. So you've got the stencil there, which will fit inside that one, but you've also got stencils which will fit on the flip side, I presume. Yeah, we just trace around those and cut them out. I couldn't find my pen, so I'm just using my pin to scratch the surface. Use a pen, guys, it does work. Just grab the closest thing at hand, just scratching that top layer, which will then give me, you can't really see that on camera, but I can see it with my eye. And there you have it. So I'm going to cut out some more because I'm not just going to make the one, no way. Right, so I've got a few different heart shapes. I haven't started the round ones yet, I'll do them afterwards, but I just want to show you the process that I'm doing this. with one, and then I can kind of just do that for the rest of them, and you'll know how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to use my Resin Markers clear hard type. I'm not going to fill the mold right up. I don't want these the full depth of the mold. So I've added about a quarter of the amount that I need. Now I'm going to take my film, and I'm paying attention to the way that I'm putting it in, making sure the domed part of the film is going down into the resin. If I use the other side, it's going to create pockets of air. Now what you can do is brush it with UV resin and then put it in that way if you want, or just push it down to manipulate any air bubbles out. But I'm going to do it this way and just enter it at an angle, and hopefully any bubbles are going to come out the sides. And then just going to give that a full cure, a minute on both sides. For that, I'm just setting my lamp to 36 watts. Once that has cured, we can then pop that out, and I can add a backing afterwards if I want. I've got a couple of small bubbles up there, but that is the first try. So I am just going to do exactly the same thing with the others. Look at that colour. That's crazy. So because the round cabochons don't come with a stencil, I've just, to make my life a little bit easier, I've just cured just some clear resin in each size. So I can then just trace around these on my film, so I know they're going to fit. Alright, so these are ready to back or keep clear depending on what you want. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did run into bubble issues, but again, I think the best way is to apply a thin coat of resin and then put the film down. So I found these ones much easier to work with than these, because you've got that deeper cavity for the mold. So if you was doing it with epoxy, I think it would be a lot easier because you could fill more up. But yeah, I mean, the colours are insane, absolutely crazy. But I think they're good just as they are. To turn those into pendants or earrings or whatever you want, really. You might have some edges that you need to kind of sand down, but I'm going to just back them with some black just to see what happens. You could do it with white also if you wanted to, but I thought I'd show you first before I did that. And as always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks. That bubble there, I think, is inside the film. I prodded it quite a bit, so I think the layers where I hadn't maybe heated them together enough or pushed them together enough, they'd sucked in some of the resin but then left bubbles. But the colours, it doesn't really notice. It just looks like they're supposed to be there. And the reason why I've taken them out to do the black backing is because if I keep them in there, UV resin can shrink, and if I pour my black in, what can happen is it can run down inside the mold and just affect the piece. So I'm going to do it this way. It's just safer. And for that, I always do this, just some UV resin with some black mica powder. Again, I know I repeat myself, but there could be new viewers. Not too much black mica powder because that can prevent it from curing. So I just apply that to the back and take it all the way to the edge. And you can see the design just through the black, so I know that that's safe and it's going to cure. If I couldn't see through it, then there's going to be a problem. Okay, we're all done. I could have done with another layer on there just to level things out a little bit better, but you can do that. Let's start with the rounds. Do 2 at a time. I absolutely love these. And I think I might have said in my video where I use the florist paper that you don't need to go out and buy this stuff. Why is my focus playing up? I take back those words if I did say that, because this stuff is incredible. What are you doing? Lock. But as always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment. If you haven't subbed, hit that button for me. This one, the colours in this are absolutely crazy. It's like an opal. Right, the two big ones. This one is by far. I'm gonna throw this camera in a minute. They're that good that my phone just can't focus on them. Or is that one my favourite? I don't know. I think it could be that one. Look at that. That is crazy. I've said that quite a bit now. I think I found a new favourite thing to use. Wow, a little bit lost for words. Let's go with Two of the Hearts. It's really tricky to tell you which colours that I've used. But I don't think there's any bad combo that you could use. There really isn't. Stunning. Let's go with the other little small one on its own. Is this one matching this one, I think? Possibly. So massive, massive thank you and shout out to Fran for sending me these bits to try and for the discounts. Totally out of this world. I've got some fingerprints where I've been touching them, moving them. Absolutely love these. Right, I hope you enjoyed that one. I will definitely be trying some more things with this, maybe some new things. My brain is now ticking big time, more than ever. And these, I think you can actually stick them if they were totally flat to make a ball. Right, yeah. Hope you enjoyed that one. I will see you for the next one. But look at that in a pendant. I don't know where this come from, so I can't give you a link for this. Presume it probably come in a set on Amazon. Right, yeah, I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.